So back on the Mazda, I'm up to testing the electrics. So the nose cone's on, bumper's just sitting on the ground, so the light's plugged in. I've got fluid and everything, which is good. I think all the electrics are done. Got the steering wheel buttons all wired up. So we'll cut over to time lapse of that. So everything's off in the switch panel. I know nothing's labelled, but I've got a rough idea what everything is. Battery's been on charge overnight. Battery isolator's off. So hopefully this doesn't end badly. It shouldn't. No explosions so far. Ready. What's making that noise? So I got my first fail on the electrics. I've got the line lock and trans brake hooked up to their normally closed contact on the button. So as soon as I turn the power on, they're coming on. But it's only one so far. Doing well. So I fixed my buttons. Should be able to hear the trans brake relay clicking in, and you can hear the actual line lock solenoid kicking in as well. So they're fixed. On to the important stuff. It should be the rad fans. Sounds like they're going. Yep, both fans running. It's a good thing. So next on the list should be the trans fan. So I have the fuel pump relay and trans fan relay fed from the back here, so it's also where their fuses are. So I just tried the trans fan, and I don't know if you can see it, but I have cleared that fuse. So it's only a little 10 amp. It's running an 11-inch fan, so it's probably not enough. I don't have a spare 15, so I'm going to throw a 30 in it, just to see if the fan works. If it clears the 30, there's obviously something wrong with the fan or the wiring. Trans fan's good. Next on the list, lighting. Yeah, you have lights, gauge lights. So Adjust the brightness on them. That's always good. Do I have headlights and tail lights? I have one green light. I don't have any tail lights. Do I have bulbs in them? Yes. Maybe I've cleared another fuse. Not using the right sizes. Oh, that glow. And I have 2 parker lights, which is all I need. Racetrack's lit up. I'll have to look into these back lights. So it turns out I had 2 smaller fuses in the front here for the tail lights. For some reason, don't know. So they're all good now. So it leaves me starter, ignition, fuel pump. Not really game to do this, but starter works. Whew, nerve-wracking. So this is ignition. Gauges are on. You can see I have a fuel pressure warning. And my 2 little green lights come on. So it's off. So I've got to check fuel pressure. So yesterday started the car, or the engine in the car. So we'll cut over to that. From that start, we found I got an oil leak on the front of the sump. It was there when we dynoed it, but I thought I had it fixed. Obviously I haven't, so I'm going to pull the front of the car off, take the balancer off, and I'll loosen down the front of the sump, squeeze in some gasket maker, and let that set, and then do it up, and that should seal the sump up. Yes, I can do that. That's how I was told to fix it last time. Last time I didn't take the balancer off, so that's probably my problem. Other thing we found is my oil temp and trans temp gauges aren't operating, so I'll have to look into that one. Fuel pressure, water temp, and oil pressure are all good, they're the really important ones. The other 2, well, the trans temp will be important when the car's running. And for some reason I have a leak on this front part of my fuel pump, just down the bottom. It's a very small weep, but it's still enough to be a problem. So let's get into ripping this front end off. here's my earlier attempt at repairing this leak. Put a vacuum on the crank breathers, and you just clean this surface off with brake clean. So brake clean actually won't break down your oil, and it'll evaporate a lot quicker, so using that vacuum to draw it back through to the valve covers is a lot better than trying to degrease it. I'll drop the oil anyway after this and change it, but you can see here, there's my leak. Just got a small drip under operation. So what I'll do is I'll loosen the pan bolts off around here. Those two there, those two there. It'll give me a bit of room here so I can really force this silicone in that edge, and then should seal it up and stop leaking. So while that front's setting off, we might try and fix the leak on the fuel pump. So it's not the fittings, it's actually leaking from this front plate. So I'm gonna have to pull the whole pump out, figure out how to, I don't know, disassemble that. Maybe there's an O-ring under there that's been pinched or something. It's a very small leak when the car's running because it's drawing the fuel in. But when it's not, there's a bit more of a leak there just because of the head pressure on the pump. So we'll see what we find. That was easier than expected. You can see there's an O-ring on the cap there. Doesn't appear to be any damage to it anywhere. It looks pretty clean. Okay, there's only one little nick, just, I don't know if the GoPro will pick it up. There's one little nick there, but I don't know if that'll cause the leak to occur. So you might just see what we can do about it. No fuel leak. Yay. My car won't burn down now.